In this video, I'll show you how to make this cardboard chain mace, and the durability is really good because I can like swing around all crazy and hit things, and it's gonna hold up pretty fine. And we already have a LARPing chain mace, but since someone commented on my video and they wanted me to make one, I'll show you how to make it. The first thing you're gonna want to do when making this mace is cut out a strip of cardboard about this long. And that strip, you're going to bend it into a ball size that you want, like this. I would preferably use something of 2 of your hands if they touch almost, or do touch. The next thing you're going to want to do is, after you have your shape, is cut out another strip and glue it to this side. And this will be the top sphere part of your ball, and then you'll do the same for the bottom part of it. So once you've glued the top piece, now you're going to want to do the bottom piece, but the exact same way. But actually, before we get to that, you're actually going to want to have to fill it in. So you're going to want to do this wall piece right here and the other wall piece. And then you're going to fill it in with cardboard, and I'll show you how to. You're going to want to glue out a cardboard strip and curve it. And then glue it to this wall right here. And then once that's glued, you can just cut a slit down here and then fold it inward. I'm going to take this piece, glue it onto this. Made several slits so you can fold them all individually if that would be easier. So I'm actually just going to sit down because my legs are kind of hurting. But this thing is almost done drying, and now I just have to fold down the last piece and glue that there, and then we have one side of the mace ball. As you can see, this piece is almost done drying, and once it is done drying, I will do the other side of this piece on here, and now you cut slits into it, several pieces, and you can put glue inside of here and then fold it over. Same thing for this one, and then same for this one, and then same for the last one. So it will be a spherical shape on one side, and then you can do the other side. If you're gonna do a lot of layers, which is just rolling up pieces of cardboard and gluing it on the sides, that would be more for like a model that you're not really gonna use. But honestly, I would prefer not a lot of layers. And yes, it's probably gonna break, but the thing is, if you're gonna fight someone with it, I would do not a lot of layers so that it doesn't hurt a lot. I would only do about 1 or 2 layers. Okay, so to make the walls, obviously you just cut about 4 or 5 small strips, glue them up into here like that. Obviously they're not going to be that tall. You can cut them off. You can just fold them over into a rounded shape like so, and then you can start working on the actual piece that goes over this, and you just do the same thing you did on this side, but right here. Highly recommend, instead of just putting your piece and gluing it onto this, I would glue it all the way down here, about right when this curves. You could just glue it onto there, so then you can fold it over. So once you've glued this piece onto here, then you're gonna cut slits into it like what you did right here. But important, I actually messed up. Try not to get the words on your box on the outside. Even though I'm gonna spray paint it and they won't appear, it just looks kind of bad even if you're not gonna spray paint it. So try not to do that. So if you're having a problem with trying to get this piece to stick onto here, then you can pull these back, and if, like I mentioned, if you're having a hard time to try to get this wall to glue onto this, then take a piece of small strip cardboard, roll it into like or bend it into like a shape like this, and then stick that onto the part where you're having trouble gluing. Glue that onto there. So now that you've finished this side and you've bent it over, you do the exact same thing on the other side. Now that you've finished the second wall, now we're going to do the top piece and cut 2 holes out of it and cut a few of these cardboard strips. Strips are going to be kind of thin, and then you want to fold that thin strip in half like this, and then you're going to glue it in half. Okay, so it is important to leave a small open area that hasn't been folded over. And that is because inside of this cardboard ball, you might have flaps that from earlier. And you're just going to take that and you're going to stick it onto the flap and glue it there. So once you've made this piece right here that comes out, the next thing you're going to do is push it through one of these holes that you have, like that. I'm sorry, this can be a little tricky sometimes. And so once it's through that hole, now you're gonna take the other piece of it and bring it through the other hole now, making like a loop, just like that. Now, this side also has a flat piece, and now you're gonna glue this flat piece to the other flap inside. If yours has gaps in your ball like mine, the next thing to do is just kind of take a piece of cardboard and fold it over, cut it into like a oval or whatever shape, and like this, you can see, and just put that over and then glue it there. If you want to, you can take another piece of strip cardboard and glue it on top, and then stretch this piece down right here on both sides, and so it holds that top piece there and fills in some of the gaps. Okay, so each one of these little flaps I have right here are going to be each of the chains. I'm going to cut them all across right here and then fold it in half and then bend it and it'll become a chain, each one of these links. Just finish the actual chain links on here, and the next thing you're going to do is get a pipe in any size that you want in length. And so how to connect it to here, I think this is pretty good. Good length from here to here, so you still have your handle and you can swing it. How to connect this link to your pipe is you basically just put glue on this part of it and this part of the link and just stick it onto here. So after this piece has been glued onto here, next thing we're going to do is cut out a strip of cardboard from this side, and it reaches the other side perfectly, and you're going to glue that onto there. So I recommend putting glue all inside of this so it actually sticks all around the pipe. That is probably the best thing to do, so it will stay on a lot better rather than just gluing one side and the other side. So now I'm going to put this piece on here just like that, and I'm going to squeeze really hard and wait for it to dry. Now that this piece has been glued onto here, you basically are done with your chain mace. And the last thing to do is really spray paint it. And if you want to add spikes, I'll show you how to do it right now. So to add spikes, you cut out a small cardboard strip like this. And you can cut it to any spike length you'd want, but I would say about 2 inches is perfect. Now, you have a rectangle, and you're going to cut it into a triangle like this, and then fold it in half. Now, if you're fighting, these spikes are probably going to break off, so I wouldn't recommend making spikes on it if you're going to fight with them. The spikes are super easy to make. All you have to do is just fold over a triangle, and there you have a spike. And you do that as many times as you want all the way around it, and then you're done. Okay, it is a new day, and today I'll be spray painting the chain mace. Okay, so I'm here, and I'm gonna spray paint it, so it looks a lot better.